Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is about that time. Keep your hands up and keep your head on a swivel. The Haymakers and Submissions podcast is here. We woke up and chose violence today. Stick and stay for combat sports talk at its finest, coming your way now.
Welcome everybody to the Haymakers and Submissions podcast. I'm Drew, he's Chops, and we're talking all things combat sports, and we are going to be previewing just a tremendous weekend of combat sports, not just boxing. We've talked some UFC as well. July 19th, Saturday. It's going to be amazing. Chops, I know you're ready for it. How you been?
Ooh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what, man? Honestly, this has been our last 2 weeks have been great for boxing. Great for boxing. And I'm telling you what, man, just what he's doing, and this card is not Turk, but Turk is he's making some moves. He's making some moves. You and I had sent me where he's put out no more. Here's my thing real quick before we really get into it. They're doing away with pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Okay, him and DAZN. Now I thought about this, and I really started thinking about it, where they're going to do a monthly subscription. You have the monthly subscription. Okay, so let's just say for sake of argument, knowing Turk, what would he put it? Between $20 and $30 a month? Because he's not going to run you. I wouldn't think.
That's the number one question in my mind. Because then when I read they said, well, he kind of misspoke because it's really going to be, like you said, a different subscription. So, okay, so what is that number? So if I'm going to pay over a course of a year, say $20 a month, so that's $240. But if I can get at least 4 really good pay-per-view quality cards in that time, I've already made my money back. So any more than that, it's a good thing for me as the consumer, because I'm assuming I'm going to pay $80 per pay-per-view for a big card.
Yes. Will you get 4 big ones? Because let's not forget, it should have been, and it's not Turk's fault, but he also ran the one in New York with Raleigh, Garcia. You know what I mean? That's not his fault.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But you will have that. So having that, what do you do? Because
that's the nature of the sport.
And then you've got Dana. Dana is known for, Dana will put on a good card, or then he can have his next headliner. His next card could be a pay-per-view. The main event is a good top names, but the other 4 cards, the other names on it aren't very, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's going to be the interesting thing, because I thought about that. How many big time cards can he get? Because let's not forget, here's also the thing. There are enough big names out there where even if this card that we just saw last week that we said was going to be good, right?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't have to pay Shiraz an arm and a leg. You didn't have to pay Pacquiao and Matthias an arm and a leg. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to pay Zepeda. You probably could have, and I don't know what their purses were, but you could probably pay Zepeda $3 to $4 million, and he'd have been, you know what I'm saying? And that's pocket change for Turk and his friend, the Saudi, with that Saudi money.
Oh, yeah.
So really, we may not get the biggest name card like we had in Riyadh season, last year, but the card we had last week was solid. Now, he, as in Turk, has to have the right people that can go out and scout talent, because not every fight is going to be, you're not going to have great fight, but there are fights out there. If you had hypothetically a Roach fighting a Norman, a Stevenson fighting a Tank, you know what I'm saying? Inouye's back, whatever have you. So the fights are there. And so how many would you need? Would you need 3 or 4 good fights on the card? Because now I'm saying he could hypothetically have 10, 12 fights on the card. But like the main, to have the prelims, and the main card. What would you look at for that? To be, that was a good card, it was worth it.
Obviously, you need a main and a co-main event. I think if those two are solid fights, to me as a fan, a consumer, everything else is extra. It's gravy. So if I an undercard fight that really is a banger, I'm fired up. I feel I won on this one because I'm getting a little extra. I didn't anticipate this because I'm really buying this to see, fighter X versus fighter Y for the championship. And
I'm also willing to see, because Dana with his UFC has he has contender series, he has the Ultimate Fighter, different things where young fighters are coming up. I don't know if they'll do something like that in boxing, where maybe they'll have Golden Glove guys that aren't Tank, aren't Roach, aren't Shiraz level, but they're up and comers and they can give us some interesting fights. I want to see, what do you get for that subscription? Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the disappointing thing to me. When he first said it, it's like, okay, so you're going back to what the DAZN model was, which was you pay us $16.99 a month, and every fight we have is included. And we got to see the Triple G Canelo fights. We saw Joshua and Usyk. I mean, we saw Usyk and Dubois, although I think we were paying for it at that time by that time.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it was awesome. And I mean, I know there's more money to be made. I get it. So I'm not saying, oh, they're just greedy bastards. Well, yeah, but I don't have to buy it. But it doesn't need to be 30. I really don't think it can be higher than $24.99 US dollars. I think you go over that, you're going to lose some people. But here's the thing, it's about sponsorship too. A Netflix or a DAZN, they were getting people that would jump in and subscribe, but then they would jump right back out.
Yeah.
Well, they want to keep you, and then you're going to tell your friends, and it makes sense for DAZN and Netflix if they jump into this to say, yeah, that's what we're going to do, because it could lead to long-term growth versus the quick short-term bucks of the pay-per-view. But what are you really gaining long-term? And I think that's where this is coming from, in my opinion. Just looking at a business model, Turk's going to get his money. The holding company, or the one that has the viewing rights, whether it's DAZN or Netflix or whoever, they're going to make more money over time, but not make as much up front. So it's about patience. And I think that's the better business model for them. And as consumers, we're happy because we're paying a lot less, we hope, over 12 months. And that's, most people say, oh, that's great. Well, is it? Because to your point, am I going to get 3 cards like that a year that are even going to make it worth my while? So if you get more than that, now it's a bargain. I think you will. Like I said, when DAZN started out, I got to see a lot of fights. I mean, I can't name them off the top of my head right now, but I mean, like I said, Triple G and Canelo, the last two were coming to mind right away. It was part of the subscription, so it was cool. But we'll see what happens. But I am excited about it, and hopefully it carries over. Because man, like, I know we're going to talk UFC pretty soon here, but like I mean those are so expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Dana has done well because you can have an expensive. He has a first off a UFC every month. It could either be pay-per-view or it could be on ESPN Plus. You know what I mean? So you'll get some of those for free. So I'm interested to see. I do. I just want to see how this goes. Who's the matchmaker? Do they get a great matchmaker? But in a lot of this, you don't even need a great matchmaker because you know the fights the fans want to see. And it just so happens to work out. This is the same fights, the Turkey Al-Sheikh. And it's great because he's still in his early 40s. So he's got his finger on the pulse. He's not one of these old stogies that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm interested to see where this goes, man. Then if he can take off on this boxing, are they keeping boxing and MMA and UFC separate? How are they doing this? And the only reason I say that is because of this. If you're keeping them separate, why would Turk join Dana White to start a box? There's other people he could have started with to join a boxing league. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even if he went with some old retired boxers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I just don't, unless you guys plan on linking up. Just being honest with you right now, the two number one in combat in full MMA and boxing, the two main combat sports, now they're linking up and they're going to switch the game. We're going to be done with having to go through promoters and who can fight who and the roster and guys. I'm interested to see how that works. You know what I mean? And Turk pays his guys where Dana has been infamous for not paying, and he's been, you know what I mean? So we'll see. I do want to see where it goes. Now, I'll be honest with you. You said no more than 24. I'm thinking closer to 30 a month, but we'll see. We'll see.
Now, if it gets to that, so $360 a year, okay. But now my expectations go a lot higher at that point. I mean, you better have a card every 2 months it's going to be worthwhile. I mean, that's just, and it doesn't mean it's going to be like a mega card, but every 2 months, you better be getting a card that's got at least 2 fights on there. Like, yeah, these were damn good, and with some big names.
Big dog, I'll bet you we could get one every month. Because do you know what I'm saying? The fact now do you think about it? We just had one last week. Now we're having this one. There were some major fights, right? There's some major fights. So you could do and set something else up for next month. But even in between those, if we're paying for memberships, show us some up and coming scrappers. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be, just show us some of those. And now if you've got Dana, are you going to have something like the Contender Series strictly for, boxing? And how will you set that up? Will you set up a boxing tournament, something like the UFC has? It'll be interesting to see how it goes, man. It'll be interesting to see. But I'm definitely ready. I want to see what the price is going to be, how they're going to run it, and I'm good. I'm good. I just hopefully they don't do it like a gym where you have when you're ready to cancel, you got to write a letter, you got to stand on your left foot, you got to shake your right ear. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I do not want that.
No. Let's jump into this incredible weekend, and I find this ironic. Because you mentioned it earlier. Yeah, Turks doesn't have anybody going this weekend. Well, Dana does. And this is a huge fight here. And I mean, I'm not a huge UFC guy, but I'll tell you what, I want to see this fight because I saw these guys go, man. Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, top chops.
Yes, this is Poirier's retirement fight. And just as Dana White doesn't give you he doesn't normally give anybody easy fights. So whether you're coming in or whatever have you, and as Poirier is on his way out, he's not getting a farewell appreciated. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a rough one. Now, again, this is their third fight. Crazy part is Poirier was Holloway's opponent when he made his UFC debut. His debut. So Holloway is basically, he's put it out there. He ruined my UFC debut. I'm going to ruin his retirement farewell. You know what I mean? So they're going to go at it. Also, Holloway needs some get back. Poirier's beat him, and he went unanimous decision him, and he submitted him. You know what I mean? Now, again, years ago, these are different fighters, so it's going to be interesting. But real quick, what to look for. Poirier, both of these guys said, I'll be surprised if anything goes to the ground. Maybe they might trip over each other and fall. But honestly, I'll be surprised if it goes to the ground, man. Honestly, they throw heavy leather. Poirier has a nice defense, the way he moves and sticks, and he's a southpaw, what he does with his things. Both guys do a lot of hand fighting, where they'll hand fight, but they'll drop that and throw something over it. So I'm interested to see where that goes. Also, what I want to see is, will Holloway throw more kicks? He can throw some kicks where he has short kicks. Now, it didn't do – he threw a spinning kick in his last fight where he won the BMF belt against Justin Gaethje. But Gaethje just put his head down, and when he spun, he broke his nose in the first round, and it just gave Gaethje problems for the entire fight. So, but as a pure striker, I like Poirier. I really do. He doesn't throw punches and bunches. He doesn't throw a lot of unwasted punches. But when he throws his combinations, the way he does it, he does some awkward things, the way he throws leg kicks. And when I say awkward for most fighters, awkward, that's the way you wouldn't teach your fighter, but it works for him.
Yeah.
Holloway has he's got a tank that just never runs out of gas. He's all go, go, go. Now he indeed fought and he was doing well until he got knocked out against Topuria. He moved up to 145 or 150, you know what I mean, and 155, and his power still when they say he walks around at 190. You know what I mean? So you can't go by that because some people are saying, is he washed? Is Holloway washed? Not at all. This is going to be a good fight. Prime example. This is one of those fights where the main event is all that, and the other fights under it are decent names, but past their prime. Paulo Costa. There could be a lot of blood in that fight, but it's not a fight. Oh, man, Paulo Costa's fighting. I need to go check it out. No, but he's still a competitor. He's nice with his jiu-jitsu. Kevin Holland is fighting, right? Kevin Holland is fighting. And the guy, Kevin Holland is, I don't want to say a showboat, but he's very athletic. He does a lot of talking to his opponents. The guy he's fighting, Anthony Rodriguez, the guy he's fighting is also, he is no play. He's tatted up. He comes to bring it. Win or lose, he's leaving it all on the mat. But an average MMA person wouldn't be interested in this card. They really wouldn't. And even people that are, you're looking at Paulo Costa because if this isn't his last fight, he didn't have a whole lot left. Kevin Holland, he needs to win in spectacular fashion to do something to keep before he ends up getting cut. Fans like him. But it's not a card that is where last week with the boxing card, we were excited from top to bottom. That's not what the UFC is. But it's BMF, bad mother, shut your mouth belt. So it's going to be a good one. It will be a good one. I'm telling you, if you don't watch Jamie, watch that one. If you only now, again, you wouldn't pay for the pay-per-view just to watch that fight, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be a good one.
Well, who do you like in this one?
I like Poirier. Bigger toolbox, better striker, the way he throws his punches, the way he sets everything up. Holloway just has a gas tank, and it's hard to beat somebody 3 times. Man, it's hard to beat somebody 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm going with Poirier. I'm still going to go with Dustin, man.
All right. It's going to be a good one, man. It's Saturday night. That's ESPN Plus, I believe, pay-per-view. So
yeah.
Everyone can check that out. But now we're going to go back to boxing. July 19th, you got to start out on the DAZN to go to Wembley Stadium in the UK. You get to see the next fight, or the first main event for the weekend. Undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. You got Oleksandr Usyk, who holds all of the belts except for the IBF title, which is now in the hands of Daniel Dubois. Now, everyone has to keep in mind, Usyk was stripped of the IBF title after he fought Fury to unify the titles because he was not their mandatory, so they stripped him. Dubois ended up winning it, but Daniel Dubois is in his way, Chops, and this is the second fight. This is the rematch. Let's talk about this one. First of all, going into this fight, are you excited to see this fight?
Yes, because it's heavyweight belt. But if it wasn't, this isn't a fight that I'd be like, oh man, I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? It's for the belt, unifying it, whatever have you. But this is not the way when Holyfield had it, when Tyson had it, when Lennox Lewis was doing it. It's not that to me. For me, it's not. But also, it's kind of real quick before we get into this. You had sent me a text today where it said, with boxing, the world is watching, right? And they went into it a while, whatever. But this week is truly that, where you've got Mexican fighters fighting. You've got guys from the Philippines. You've got guys from USA. You've got guys from the UK. You got guys from Russia. You've got guys from all over the globe fighting, and their people will be. So really, the world is watching. This is a. I understand this isn't, and these people are in different cars, different locations, whatever have you. But just how this is going on, I don't know if we're starting to see this now because of Turk throwing his hat into the ring, and he's letting you guys know if you don't start putting these good fights together, they will sign with me. I don't know. I don't know, but you know what I mean? We are the beneficiary of Turk throwing his hat in there and what we're seeing, so I'm ready for it. Now, again, I'm interested in seeing a fight because they're heavyweights. I'm interested in seeing a fight because now 2 things can be true. I think Dubois got robbed in the first one, but I also think he quit. I think he got robbed. But I also think he quit. You know what I mean? I understand he had a fractured orbital bone. I do get that. But I just thought he quit. So, I'll let you kick it off, man. Are you interested in this? What do you think? What's your breakdown? How are you going at it?
Well, I hadn't put it in the perspective that you did. And I agree with you why I want to watch this fight. I would want to see it, just because I know that I'm now a huge boxing fan. But the fact that it's for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship, it's kind of must-see TV, I'll be honest with you. But it does speak to what you're saying, though. I mean, if this for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship, this should be a fight you don't put another card up against. Your mind. This is prime time.
Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, but it's not. It's a huge fight. It's at Wembley Stadium. They're going to sell it out. Dubois from the UK, Usyk, of course, from the Ukraine. Now, I want to talk about the judging in this one. I think this is interesting. I think there's so many things in play here that we might actually see some legit scoring. I think. And why I say that is Dubois is the hometown favorite, and he has the IBF strap, for whatever, like it or whatever. I don't agree with him with Usyk being stripped, but it is what it is. But he's at home and he's a champion. He's going to get that weighs a lot. But now you've got Usyk, who, let's face it, is a proven champion. He's got all the belts except that one. And there's a lot of people that sympathize with the Ukraine too and their conflict with Russia right now. So there it is. I think there's a lot of politics and a lot of hometown stuff going on here. But I would hope it washes out and it's like, you know what, let's just look at this fight for what it is. And I think it's going to be a very close fight yet again. Okay,
because you're bringing up something I hadn't thought about it. So real quick, it's a swing round. It's razor thin. Who do you think is getting it? I think it's going to be home cooking.
I think the first one will be like it's when I'm a bad example, I guess, but I'm scoring this fight straight up. Without question. I'm not going to be biased towards either because they both got belts. So I'm going to score it straight up, and I'm going to lean towards. If I'm scoring, I'm going to lean towards Usyk, but the next swing round, I'm going to give to Dubois.
I got you back, so it's even. I got you, and that's the same way I'm too. And now I'm the old adage: to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. They both have belts. Now I understand Usyk has 3, Dubois has 1, but I'm interested. Now, see, here's the thing though. Usyk is 38, 23-0, 14 KOs. But he's not a knockout artist. No. He's scrappy. He's grimy. He gets in there and he's going to be there from round 1 to the end. He's going to be there. You know what I mean? He is a southpaw, which can give guys problems, whatever have you. But he's not an active, give you angles southpaw. He's going to stand in front of you. He'll throw his work his double jab. He's not going to be hard to miss, but he's not going to go anywhere. You know what I mean? He's not going to go anywhere. Now, to me, if I'm Dubois and I'm Dubois' team, real estate, location. Work the body. Work the body.
Yes.
Work the body. You have to. You have to. You're taller. You've got a longer reach. You should always be able to pop that jab. Pop that jab. Make him think about that jab. Get it a couple of points. Get it to the point where you're just flinching, acting like you're about to throw that jab. Go to the body. You have to invest in the body. You can talk to 10 people. 5 say yes, 5 say no. I sent pictures. I thought that was right on the belt. I did not think that was a low blow.
Yeah.
But you saw the way Usyk handled it. He didn't like it. He took the 5 full minutes. That was a belly button shot. He didn't like it.
Well, he sold the low blow.
Yes.
Which was a risk. But like you said, yeah, he didn't like it. No way he didn't like it.
Not at all. Not at all. But so that to me, and now, okay, let's look at it this way. Okay. Since their fight, Usyk has went on and beaten Fury twice, right? For the belt. Dubois beat Big Baby, TKO. Beat Philip Hrgovic, right?
Yep.
And he's beat Joshua. All KOs.
Yeah.
Different types of fighters. Big Baby was a big, heavy body, young, stands in front of you. Hrgovic had a little skill set, but he's still big. He's still grimy, and all in top 10. Then you had Joshua. Joshua's the specimen. He was coming off a nice knockout, whatever have you, an impressive knockout over Ngannou. He has the reach. He has the length. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, Big Baby can take a blow, and he got the TKO. Hrgovic is a seasoned vet and got him out of there. Joshua has been in championship rounds, championship settings, and got him out of there. So even though they both had success since their fight, Usyk's success has been you beat the champ, you got all 4 belts. That's impressive, but it was the same guy. You're seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
Dubois fights and his success have been some different things. I'm interested to see. And Dubois, to me, right now has a courage. He has a confidence about him that I think is going to be hard. I think it's going to be hard. I don't think he'll wilt under the pressure like he did in the first one. I just don't. You remember the way he took that jab to the face, takes a knee, and as soon as the ref says 10, he stands up the same way Garcia did. That's quitting. That's quitting.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but that's what it was. So Dubois is a different type of cat now. I think he learned from that. I think he's learned from the 3 fight stints, and I think this is going to be a good one. I think he's going to be hyped for the crowd. But you got to give Usyk crap. You have to give Usyk all the credit in the world because he wants to. He could have taken somebody else, maybe a Joshua. Not that we'd want to see that again, but maybe somebody else for a payday, whatever, and did this in Russia. But he's got the belt, and he's going to the UK. That's impressive. I'll give him his props for that because he could have very well easily said, "I'm the champ, you come to me." So, but I'm interested in this one. Go ahead, tell me what you got before we give our picks.
Yeah, so I like your take on Dubois. He did learn. And what I was really impressed with against Joshua is when he did get the KO, he was hurt.
Yes.
Hurt. And when you're hurt, you're desperate. And he didn't cower and cover up. He went after Joshua, and he kept his wits about him. And he, mind you, it was a 1 punch, but damn.
Yeah.
You got to give the guy a hell of a lot of credit.
And as much as he threw a nice right is as much as Joshua walked into it. But the result is the result.
Yes, exactly. Now, Usyk's got to be, I think, he's got to kind of I would say almost stick and move a little bit. But that's not really his style per se. But it kind of is. He's in and out. So I think that's what he's got to do. He's certainly not going to stand there. He can't. I think it's foolish for him to stand there and take shots. He's got to watch his midsection. You're 100% right. Now, here's what I found interesting. I wanted to ask you. I saw just a recent photo, and he looked like he's probably put on. I don't know. We're recording this. We haven't had the official weigh-in yet. I'll bet you he weighs in at least 235.
And he's been fighting what, mid to low 220s?
Yeah.
Okay. If that be the case, if it's not all muscle, and if it is all muscle, that muscle's going to need oxygen.
It doesn't. No, it's not muscle.
Okay. Then if it's padding, he's anticipating body. So if I'm Dubois, I'm not going to disappoint. You expect it to your body, and that's fine. And you put on extra padding. But if you can't take a body shot, you can't take a body shot. Bottom line, just being honest with you. As big as Dubois is, that's still going to hurt. However, I need to drag you into deep waters. Let's see if that gas tank, 235, 240, is the same as it was as 220, 225.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're a little bit older. Yeah, we're going to see this. We're going to see.
Now, he may be able to get the way he throws. He's very almost textbook in a way. It's all in the hips.
Yeah.
Few extra labs over there, man. You can get some extra pop.
Yes.
Look up.
I'm interested, man. Again, we don't know what the weights is. What as we're recording this early before it's come out. But if when you looked at him, he looked a little heavier. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's why that's his game plan, but because he didn't even do that against Fury.
Oh,
I want to see how that extra weight affects him going later into the fight.
There was concern he was too light in that fight.
Yes,
and if you think about it, he obviously had Fury hurt badly in the second fight, and he couldn't finish the job. Maybe there's something to that. So it will be interesting. I think that's if that's how he ends up looking night of the fight. Interesting.
Dubois is 27. He's younger. He's faster. He's stronger. Yeah. You need to be able to show it with your defense, with your pop on the jab. We need to see. It's not like he's a Terrence Crawford is in Usyk, and your defensive skill set. your offensive skill set is like that. You're not going to outclass and outpoint as 38 hit him, Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
You're not looking to see a Mayweather. You're not looking to see a Terrence Crawford the way he displays it. There's no way this 38-year-old man in your homeland, there's no way he should outwork you. So I'm going with Dubois in this one. I'm going with Dubois
on this one, and I believe it's I believe it's going to be an extremely close fight.
I still think Dubois is the underdog, though. I still think Usyk is favored. I believe. I don't know exactly what when I last saw, but I think he is in Dubois.
Yeah, I'll check up on that, but I believe in my, like I said, just my opinion that he's going to get the decision. I'm going to call 115-113.
Jeez.
To be honest with you, I think that's what it's going to come out to, and it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. But I do think there is a chance, in my opinion, that either one of these guys. I think we'd be more likely to see Dubois hit the canvas than we would Usyk. But if Dubois can find the body, we might get surprised and then see Usyk hit the canvas. So I give the power in terms of or the chin to Usyk, but the overall defense I give to Dubois.
I think we should know within the first 3 rounds on the aspect of Dubois has come and he's going to be much more active. I'm just hoping we're seeing a different fighter from Dubois and letting it all go. I truly hope even in that loss, because we've seen in the other 3 fights, he's gained something. He has gained something.
Yeah, so, real impressive. And like I said, I'm not a fan of the fact that Usyk got stripped of the belt. All credit in the world to Dubois for getting it. But and looking it up now, Usyk is favored. He's a minus 330.
Wow, that's pretty big.
Dubois is a plus 250. It's
big.
It's not a landslide, but they're basically saying it's going to be an 8-round-to-4 fight.
Yeah.
With a better chance of a knockout.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. We'll see. We will see.
All right. So after we have all that excitement, we have a nice dinner with our families, our loved ones, and then we settle in and go to Vegas. MGM Grand in Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's Saturday night, 8 p.m. Hell of a card here. I mean, we're going to talk about all 3 of these fights coming up here, and we're going to kick it off with the return of Manny Pacquiao. He is taking on the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Manny Pacquiao is about 4.5 years younger than me, Chops.
Yeah.
Put that into perspective.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Digest that for a second. I mean, he's 46. It's amazing. But I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, but I mean, I don't know. I've seen some video of Manny working out. I did see him hitting the bag, throwing the straight punches, going hard. I get that. But Van Damme had an old movie, Kickboxer, years ago. Mm-hmm. And he did the punch death, where he hits the brick and Bola Young looks at him and says,
Bloodsport.
Yeah. Oh, Bloodsport. That's right. Bloodsport, not Kickboxer. And it's crazy because I was watching it earlier. That's a lie. 2-3 days ago. Dong Po. So I was watching, but all right, Bloodsport. And Bola Young looks at him and says, very good, but brick not hit back. And Manny, for 46, looks decent on the bag, but definitely he slowed down, right?
Yeah.
But I also saw him with some other ex-champs. They're working out, running heels and going hard. I just hope I hope he's not overtraining. Number one, I hope he's not overtraining. But then I started thinking, what is it? Why is he coming back? It can't be money. He had a little singing career in the Philippines. He was in political office. He had got endorsements. Why is he coming back? I just don't get it. But in his last fight, he lost to Ugas, right? Yeah. And a unanimous decision in 2021. I don't know, man. He's the older, he's the shorter, he's the slower fighter. He has a shorter reach. I don't know, man. I just don't. I like Manny Pacquiao, but And we're going off of what he used to do. Because, yes, he, as in Foreman, had a second career, but Foreman had power, which always put him in there. Yeah. Always. Last thing to go is the power.
Mm-hmm.
Pac had speed. Now, he doesn't forget all that he got, all that he knew. But I do think this. Come on, brother, you see it. I don't care if you're catching baseball, throwing, shooting hoops, even hitting the bag, or if you do light sparring with somebody or just shadow boxing. Mm-hmm. You can see the shot coming. But you can't always duck it like you used to. The body just doesn't move. You know what I mean?
Yep. You're right.
So I don't know, man.
The twitchy muscles aren't.
Yes.
There. That's what it is.
I just hope Manny doesn't embarrass himself. I just hope he doesn't. Now the good thing about it is Barrios is not, to me, a heavy knockout puncher. To me, he's not a heavy knockout puncher. But when you put that age, when you put that speed, he could just I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Let's put it this way. If Barrios was going against another champ at 147, I don't know that I put him in the top with the other 47. I would put him as one of the, when you're talking to 147s, you're not even talking him as, I want to see Barrios fight Norman. I want to see Barrios fight Boots. I want to see No. But against Manny, he could, with the age, the ring rust, he could look good against Manny. He really could. And that's what I'm worried about. I don't want Manny to diminish his legacy.
Yeah, I agree with you. And here's the thing. You guys fight, it was a unanimous decision, and it was a landslide, and there was no doubt about it. He really won.
You saw him slowing down.
Yeah, and the thing is, the fight before that, he fought Keith one time, Thurman, and he looked amazing. He beat Thurman. It was split decision, but he beat him. I had him winning.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked great. But it's been August of 2021 was when he fought you guys. So we're basically, let's call it 4 years inactive in your 40s. So
let's not forget. Yes, he looked good against Thurman, but that was 2 years before Ugas, and he had fought twice. He had fought Adrian Bonner, then he fought Thurman in 19. So he was keeping active in his fight. And big dog, that was 7 years ago in 19? You know what I mean? 19, that's 7 years. Jeez, Lou.
I mean, the guy's got. I mean, his resume. I wasn't gonna. He's first ballot. He's Hall of Famer. I get that. I just don't know why he's coming back. I don't know. I don't know. And I agree with you. I don't want him to embarrass himself. Now, I'm not saying that I don't think that this version of Manny Pacquiao can't win. He is a plus 220, or excuse me, 210. Barrios is a minus 290 in this fight. I apologize. I didn't have the odds on this slide. I'm going to keep doing that after this. I learned my lesson. Yeah. But so Barrios is a solid favorite, but not
he's like a 3-1 favorite with those. He's like a 3-1 favorite. Yeah. And he should be. Yeah.
Now here's the thing. I've seen Barrios fight. He had the draw against Abel Ramos was his last fight, and that was in November past November. So he's had a decent amount of time off, so he's ready. He lost to Thurman.
Yes.
And Tank TKO'd him. But I'll tell you what, he did hurt Tank in that fight. So that's the thing. He's got. Go ahead.
No, well, see, here's the difference. Normally, I would have said can't take that really into consideration because Tank's defense and movement is nowhere near what Manny's is. But Manny's 46 now. You can't go by what he used to be.
True. Good point.
You know what I mean? So, man, brother, I don't know, man. I'm just hoping Manny's not there to be hit. And also at 46, these younger guys, see at 40, 45, 43, whatever have you, the way these heavyweights fight, you could go deep into the fight because you don't throw as many punches. You're not doing the movement. There's going to be defense in this. There's going to be movements. There's going to, you know what I'm saying? They're going to use every inch of this ring. Manny needs, I don't know, man. I don't know if endurance will be the key. The live fighting for the belt is significantly different than sparring. Significantly. And Manny knows that.
Yeah.
But you haven't done it in 4 years. You're 46 years old now.
Yep. Here's the thing. Barrios has a 5-inch height advantage, 4-inch reach advantage. So we know that the size advantage is there. We also know Manny's seen that before, but that's pretty significant. Now, here's the thing. I watched Barrios' fights. I went back and watched some film. Now, he keeps a decent guard, kind of like, right here. He's guarding his chin, but he's respecting his body. Yeah. Now, he can be hit. He can be hit straight on. He's a textbook boxer. He's a straight-on fighter. His style is reminiscent to me in a lot of ways of Pitbull.
Yeah.
But he can be hit, and he has been hit.
Yes.
So to me,
even if they did this fight 10 years ago, a 36-year-old Manny versus 30-year-old Barrios, I'd have Manny all day.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So skill set wise, Manny has forgotten more than Barrios knows. But it's that age for me, brother. It is that age for me.
It is. So how are you seeing it?
I'm going with Barrios. Let me tell you something. If Manny can sit out of this for 4 years, 46 years old, and come and beat the champ in his prime, boxing's got issues, big dog. Boxing, we already talked about this in the heavyweight, where 38, 40, 41-year-old guys are still relevant. No, not in this sport. If you want to do that in bowling, okay, even if you want to do it in archery, something that, but when you're talking physical combat, no, big dog, no, you can't, no. So having said that, Barrios, I'd love to see Manny get the upset, but I don't think it's a good look for these younger cats, lightweights, to lose to guys just sitting on. I don't want to say just sitting because Manny wasn't just sitting, but you've been out of this for 4 years, brother. You've been out of this. And your last performance was against the guy that dominated you, and I beat him. No, man. No, if Manny wins, to me, they won't look at it as a black eye because they'll think of what Manny was. When you start saying a 46-year-old guy who hasn't done anything in 4 years in his last fight, he was dominated, not a good look. To me.
I agree. Now, I want to see this fight go the distance and Barrios get the decision. I fear actually that Barrios might take him out or make it where he gets a TKO or maybe Freddie stops it. I don't know. I don't want to see that. I think there's a chance that could happen. I also think there's a chance that Manny has a puncher's chance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's going to have to.
He's got Freddie Roach. Yeah,
and one of the best out there still. So, I mean, let's see what happens. I think the odds of a knockout for Pacquiao or a stop are less than the stoppage for Barrios, but I think we'll see a decision. And I think that'd be good for Manny Pacquiao to be 46 and go the distance with Mario Barrios, who's 30.
Oh man,
that's pretty damn.
Hold on. Is it though? And I say that because of this. If Manny goes the distance, say he loses 115, 113, which means it's competitive. Good
for boxing.
And now Manny believes I'm ready for another one. And now he steps in, and whether it's a Boots or somebody else, that they end up putting the sauce on him. You know what I mean?
Floyd. They're talking Floyd.
I know. And you know me, I hate just looking forward, and I don't know, man. Now, if you want to get a 45 or 50 plus league, I said it before, I was all for it. If like the Tyson's fighting Roy Jones, bringing back Shannon Briggs, bringing back the Klitschko brothers at 50 and over, like they do golf over, and their 6 or 8 round exhibitions, I'd be all for that. I'd be all for that. But still putting these cats in, man, I don't know. We'll see. We will see.
We'll see. All right, let's jump to the next fight. Now, another championship fight. We got the Super Welterweight, WBC Super Welterweight title on the line. Sebastian Fundora taking on Tszyu. This is a rematch. We got the Southpaw and the Monster, 6'6" Fundora against Tszyu, age 30. I have I don't know. I have mixed feelings on this one, but I'll let you kick off. How do you feel about this fight?
Okay. A lot of people are saying they think Tszyu is washed up. First off, he's still only 30. He's still only 30.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start it off with this because this is a rematch. So let's go back to the first one. Fundora took this on short notice. Now, let's not forget, Fundora still had his medical suspension because he had his nose broken.
Mm-hmm.
And Tszyu had his because of that elbow, which was nasty. That was nasty. That was an MMA elbow.
Yeah.
However, Tszyu's camp is letting him down. First off, they let him down because his camp could have taken a no contest and he'd still walked away with the belt. But because you're machismo, you want to say, no, we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to fight. The man can't even see. He literally has blood. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? So they let him down on that. Then you put him in with Murtazayev. How you pronounce it? What, right?
Murtazayev, yep.
Yeah, which on that, you did not even study because you had him try to walk him down. You didn't have him respect him. And he got beat up. He got beat up. Now, I'm a believer in it's better to get beat up and taken out quick than beaten and punished for 8-9 rounds and go out in 10 or 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, having said that, then Tszyu comes back and he beats up Joey Spencer, which he should, whatever have you. But this one, to me, yes, he is still the better fighter to me as in Tszyu, but I'm interested to see if Fundora will. He's only 27. Has he learned has he grown into himself? You know, you got the kid who's 10, 12, 15 years old who's 6'4". He's clumsy, but he'll grow into himself. Dude, you're 6'6". Fight like you're 6'6".
Yeah, he likes to fight in a phone booth a lot.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't get it. If you need to do that, then do that. But if you can stand out, you don't have to run, but if you can keep him away and pop a jab and make their face look like hamburger, do that. Mm-hmm. Go to the body when you want to because you have the reach. I just don't get it, man. I don't get Fundora. I don't understand Tszyu's team, so I'm interested to see with me, Tszyu's team, did they do what they need to do? Because you can't walk everybody down. Can't just stand in front of everybody and fire off shots. You can't do it. Now, yes, Tszyu won the first round or two before the cut. He had won that, but you don't know what was going to happen when punches are being thrown. So, yes, I still think he would have. But don't forget, Fundora was a late replacement. So maybe Fundora looks different now, having a full camp. I don't know, man. I don't know. So we'll see.
It's interesting to me that they both fought Brian Mendoza. Now, again, this goes back to my Tommy Hearns thing, right? Tszyu beat Mendoza by UD 12. Mendoza knocked out Fundora, and that was before the Tszyu fight.
Yes, but Fundora was winning that fight, and he was handily, and he got caught. It looked like a giraffe, a newborn giraffe with his limbs all spread out. You know what I mean? So, but here's the thing: on what you can look at that two ways, Drew. Now that you mentioned it, right? On the one hand, you say he can bang and he was beating the same common opponent. But then you also look at it for Tszyu, his jaw is there to be hit. And he lets you close it. He doesn't let you close the distance. He has no problem you getting in his kitchen and closing the distance. You know what I'm saying? But Tszyu realized that. Now, again, Tszyu broke his nose, but he fought the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? He fought the whole fight as in Fundora, and he took those shots, and he kept getting pummeled in the nose too and going at it. So Fundora's got some heart. He just got caught. So I'm interested to see how this one goes.
Yeah, and I guess before we go into it, how I see both fighters. Fundora, he's lanky, so he looks slow, but he's got deceptive speed just because he looks slow on TV, but he's got that length, man. He wears his foes down. He goes to the body well, but again, that tendency to want to go to the body all the time, you go down, he nullifies his significant height advantage, which in this fight is 9 inches. 8 reach advantage. Now, Tszyu, on the other hand, he hits hard, and he can take punishment. He takes too much, in my opinion. He leads with his chin too much because he gets kind of wild. But, I mean, that's his style, man. He's been very successful for the most part with it, but he needs a bounce back, and I think this is a huge fight. But I think it's a bigger fight for Tszyu than Fundora. But again, I don't know where Costa Tszyu is. What you led with is kind of where I'm at in terms of, is he washed up? I'm not saying he is.
Well, first off, you just called him Costa Tszyu.
I called him his dad.
I know, and it's funny because we're in the same wavelength.
Costa went to that fight, that Murtazawa fight. He was at the fight.
Yes.
The first time he's gotten to see him fight, and that happens. Like, oh.
Yeah, and there's a couple fights where he was punching guys saying, "What's my name? What's my name?" He's trying to get out from his father's shadow. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, if his father's making him feel less than. I don't know. Or if that's his own insecurities. I don't know. But if Sebastian Fundora can learn, and again, he's been doing this he's already had 24 fights, and he hasn't learned to use his distance. He hasn't learned to use his length. Hard to believe that he's going to learn it now, but it could be interesting. This could be, and I expect it, regardless if it ends in the first round or goes a distance, it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be exciting.
So I'm kind of going with a little bit of an upset here. I'm going to take Tszyu. I think he's going to win it in a decision. I think, to your point, he was winning those early rounds, and then the elbow happened, and it is what it is. But I think he has at least in his mind, he has a blueprint, and if he can get,
go ahead. You go ahead. If
he can take the kind of the past out of his mind of the Murtazawa fight, obviously he had the Spencer fight, which was a nice tune-up for him because Joey Spencer, he's a nice little fighter. He's actually from up here.
Yeah. Did you miss it? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing, big dog. Well, first off, you said the upset. You do realize, which I'm not sure how, Tszyu is the slight favorite. Last I saw it. I don't know. So he might have switched. More money might have come in. But last I saw, Tszyu was still the favorite, which to me is crazy because he hasn't. Now, your boy Fundora has only fought once since their fight against Patterson.
Right? He got Cordell Booker. And
Cordell Patterson.
TKO. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He got the TKO in 4.
Yes.
So, and Tszyu is a slight favorite by minus 150.
Which really is basically like a pick 'em almost, because 115 is even money, so he is a slight favorite.
To me, it's an upset because Fundора's got the strap, and I do like how he fights. I like Sebastian Fundora. I just think Tszyu might have a blueprint.
Yeah. But I'm just hoping he's learned a little bit. These guys, the guys with distance. Now, Fundora doesn't make you get creative in closing the distance, but you need to be creative in closing the distance. Not really. You don't need to be, but you need to be a little bit more creative with your offense. Don't just stand there. Cut some angles, learn some angles. You know what I mean? If you're Tszyu, throw a little bit. You know what I mean? And we'll see what goes from there. I'm going to go with Tszyu too. I think I don't really have a favorite in this fight. I'm just going to go with Tszyu.
Yeah, I agree. I like both fighters actually, and to be honest, I kind of like Fundora more, but I just got a feeling. This is just kind of a gut feeling.
I got you.
You never.
I got that. Not real big reason how, but I got it. I got you.
Now we got another rematch coming up here. Junior welterweight rematch. It's going to be Pitbull, Cruz taking on Angel Feirro. This is going to be an interesting fight. I guess who do you recall who you had winning that first fight?
In real time, or who I picked before the fight?
No, who you in real time? Who you thought?
No, I still had Pitbull by slim margin, but I still had Pitbull.
So they're running it back, and I'll get the odds right away. Pitbull is minus 500, so he's a pretty heavy favorite. Feirro is plus 350.
I don't get that. And here's why. Well, let's not forget, number one, Feirro was a 10-1 dog the first fight. He was a 10-1 underdog. And in the third round and in the last round, he hurt Pitbull.
Yeah.
We've never seen Pitbull hurt. We've seen him take shots. He got hurt. Now, again, was that Pitbull not knowing his opponent or the aspect not taking Feirro? Seriously, I don't know. But they put Feirro in the ring. They said, let's go. And he did what he was supposed to do. Now, here's the thing. Those guys stood in front of each other and just swung away. That's probably what they're going to do this fight. However, you know me because I've talked about it with other fighters. I'm big on camps. I'm big on their team. You do realize Feirro never really had a team with him. So now he goes out. He has a real team and a trainer. Do you know who Feirro's trainer is now?
No, who is it?
Robert Garcia.
Oh,
I know you know who he is and who he has, but for our listeners, let me run down a couple, just a few, not even all of them. Tony Ferguson from UFC, which is a great. El Kukui was a hell of a striker, right? But let's stick to boxing, right? Antonio Margarito, Virgil Ortiz Jr. I'm quite sure you heard that name, but if you haven't, I'm sure you heard of Marco Antonio Rubio. But let's say you haven't heard of that name. Have you ever heard the name Anthony Joshua? Well, let's say you're a throwback, so you don't know Anthony Joshua. He also had Kelly Pavlik with that name. Was that okay? But even one more than that. You ever heard of a guy named Fernando Vargas? You ever heard that name?
Wow.
These are all guys. These are okay. So think about this. Feirro, and we've seen fighters look different from one fight. Andy Lee just did it with Shiraz. He just did it with Shiraz, right?
Great point.
So having said that, if Angel can show me any defense, which gotta believe Andy Lee or Garcia is going to do that, give him defense, have a different fight plan. Because I'm looking at Garcia saying, Garcia's probably going to say, why just stand in front of him and bang me? You don't have to. Why? Garcia's going to give him a game plan, and Garcia is going to make him. They've worked on defense. Big dog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling the upset in this. I'm going with Feirro. In this. And it is because of his team and his camp.
No.
Now, here real quick. Here's the issue, because we will hear between rounds. He's got to be willing to listen. Because we've heard fighters that don't listen to their corners.
Yeah.
He's got to be willing to listen. He has to. And if he's willing to listen and do and believe, trust in Garcia, big dog, I'm calling this the upset. You're a 10-1 dog. You had no real team. You're just coming in and fighting. Defense is a 4-letter word to you in the first fight. And you more than held your own. Yeah. I think Garcia is going to be the difference. I'm going with the upset. You heard it here first.
I love it. And you put us out on the line in the beginning of the show, and I love that too. And honestly, your argument was so compelling. I was on the fence on this fight, I'll be honest with you. But your analogy of what Andy Lee just did for Shiraz, and we saw Emmanuel Stewart do it with Klitschko.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not putting these. I mean, Robert Garcia's in that, and he's a great trainer. Yes. He's well known in boxing, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with it. He's gonna be able to make the change. Because here's my scouting report on Feirro: takes too much punishment,
no defense,
inconsistent, throws good power shots.
That's all he throws. Doesn't work in behind the jab. Doesn't set up a game plan.
So I believe now there is going to be a blueprint, because there's a way to get to Cruz. He's tough as nails. Like you said, he is tough.
Yes.
He's small. That's the thing. But but which Pitbull is going to show up? Because we saw him get a TKO against Rolly Romero, and we just saw Rolly Romero damage.
Right? Yeah, but Rolly, if you go back and look at some of that fight, Rolly looked almost drained. Like he looked drained. He looked thick against Garcia. But also, real talk, big dog, real talk. Just, it'd be different if Garcia had one, maybe two fighters. He's got a list of who's who.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a list. And those are just some of the, I didn't even go through all of them.
He gave Tank, I was thinking of who Cruz has fought. I mean, he got that decision. He lost against Tank, but he gave Tank fits.
Yes. Bro, think about this. He had no real team with him. Just guys from the gym, help me spar, help run my corner. And now he's got a legit coach.
Oh, with Feirro, yeah.
Think about this. And you know fighting enough to know you already have all the tools. Now we're bringing in somebody to actually sharpen them. Now we're actually putting somebody to have you work and let you know how to put all these skills into a proper and how to channel them. I think he's going to be hell to deal with. And he's only 27. I think he's going to be hell to deal with, dude. And I think now, which he didn't in the first fight, I think he's going to give Pitbull problems with his height and his reach. Garcia will put that in there.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I firmly believe with his skill set and an actual game plan, this is going to happen. That's that. Like I said, you made a compelling argument, but it makes perfect sense. It's the big if is he coachable and will he listen? If he is, I think this will happen. So,
dude, I don't think I don't know if Garcia came to him. Well, Garcia doesn't have to go to anybody.
No.
I don't think you approach Garcia unless you know you're willing to put in the work and you want to go to that next level. Number one.
That's what I would think, yeah.
And for the entire camp, I don't think Garcia is going to mess with you if he doesn't realize after the first 2-3 workouts, you don't listen. You don't pay attention. You don't have the work ethic. You're not willing to leave it on the line. I gotta believe that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I see there are fighters that have been with guys so long and they get so big, I don't have to listen. I can do this on my own. I don't think Feirro's there. And Garcia, I've been there. I can tell you what to do. I think Feirro is humble enough. He's young enough. And he has the raw skills that this cat, don't be surprised if he literally is a dominant champ. And we're talking about him in completely different terms in the next 2-3 years. If he and Garcia can work. I really believe that, man. Think about it. Because without Garcia, you've been able to do this. Without proper tutelage, without proper guidance, you've done this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just me, man.
No, I hear you. Hey, we're going to go into overtime because we got another.
Without question, it's worth it, though.
Absolutely. Now we're going to go. Now, this is a tough one. This is where I got to get the other TV out, Chops. Or if you can do the picture-in-picture. But, I got to get the other TV because I went off of the – I just got apps now. That's all I do. So I'm going to have to get the other – it's old school.
I got you.
Not busting out the rabbit ears in the foil, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Exactly.
But this is
or do what I do, have one on the TV and the other one I'll have on my iPad or my laptop, whatever.
Yep. Good call. Yep, exactly. I'll get the laptop out this time. I need that screen.
This is another one the world will be watching. You got a South African versus an American and Bam, Mexican descent, but born and raised in America. Now, this is a home cooked meal for Bam because he is born and raised in Texas. Here's the thing, big dog. Okay, I'm going to start before I go praising either fighter. I'm going to go negative for a minute.
Okay.
Number one, they're doing what I don't like. Already, if you go look up and start researching Bam is already set to defend his titles in November 22nd, my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
It's already scheduled for him to fight Fernando Martin. So he's already the fighting people already have him winning against Cafu. I've been over this. I hate when fighters do that and overlook because you overlook. We've seen it in football. Guys that, number one team has this one, and their rival is 2 weeks away, but they overlook this game. You know what I mean? I worry about that.
Yeah.
So he, as in Bam, he's already set up. We need to see if he can handle this because they're right now. He won it at one. He's a two-time, two division, the 112 and 115. Mm-hmm. Now he wins this, which we'll get into. Where does he go? I'd like to see him move up to 118. Does he move to 122 and fight Inoue? Does he go Takanaka? You know what I'm saying? So at 118, so there's some other things. There's some fights there.
Yeah, this is interesting. I neglect the lighter weight classes. I typically don't pay attention.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. other than we looked at the 126 because Baldwin had moved up. You know, at 130 when after losing to Inoue, and we love Inoue, but we don't go much lighter fights. And both of these guys throw leather, so don't be surprised if it does not go the distance. You know what I mean?
Bam is a monster favorite, minus 2,500. Cafu's a plus 1,000. You know, it's gonna be a great. I think it's gonna be an interesting fight. I think it's gonna be fun to watch. If you want to see the leather fight, like you said, you're gonna see it in this one. I got to go with Bam in this one. I have no reason not to. But everyone's got a puncher's chance, and Cafu's got the WBO title, so he's a very good fighter. He's 11-0-3. But at the end of the day, with 8 knockouts, so he's got power too. So this is, we've been picking some upsets, or at least in my mind, upsets today. But this one, I can't go against Rodriguez. Not at home like that. He's going to be fighting in. That's that theater inside the AT&T Stadium there, the Ford Theater in Frisco.
Yeah, no. Well, here's the thing. First off, that doesn't seem. I hate to say this, but that doesn't seem weird to you. 3 draws in your career. You only, you know what I mean? That's a lot of draws, man. It really is.
I can't speak to the resumes. That's what I'm like, kind of like, oh. I'm not an aficionado of this weight class.
True, I got that. But here is the thing, man. With your boy, Cafu, he throws heavy leather, and yes, he has a nice jab. I mean, a nice jab, and throws superb. Because I've been looking at him because I was like, who is this Fhumelele, Lulu, however you pronounce his name? I was all right. Let me peep this, right? So, having said that, though. It's not big names.
Mm-mm.
And Bam could almost sing the song, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. Because everything that Cafu does good or great, Bam is just a little better, man. Bam is nice with his technique. He has nice power.
Yeah.
He changes angles, his body work. He picks his punches. He doesn't throw. He's not a Zepeda who just throws to see what lands. He throws power, but he throws with precision. He throws with a mindset of, why am I throwing this? He throws with a game plan. Now, again, Cafu, he has nice combos himself, and he has a real nice jab, and he throws heavy punches. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
With 11 wins, 8 by knockout. It's a competition. But because of his speed, don't be surprised if you see an early knockdown the way Inoue gets knocked down. Of course, Inoue gets back up and wins, but don't be surprised if you see an early knockdown from Cafu knocking down Bam. I'm still going with Bam, but don't be surprised.
No, I love it, man. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. I mean,
the last 2 weeks were great.
Yeah, this is fantastic. So can't wait to watch it. We went a little over, but that's okay. This is
what it is.
It is what it is. So to close it out, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for your support. Thanks for subscribing. Don't forget to hit that like button on the videos, and don't forget to get the comments in there too. We want to hear from you. Take it easy, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. We have combat sport content every week. Say that fast 5 times. And we're at the ESPN network Roku channel on every Friday at 10 p.m. So he's Chops. I'm Drew. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you for watching the Haymakers and Submissions podcast. You can find us on the ESPN network on the Roku app every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time beginning on October 4th, 2024. Check us out on Twitter X. Our handle is @HeySubPod, capital H, capital S, capital P. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single episode. Just go to your web browser and type in www.youtube.com/@Haymakers and Submissions podcast, as we will drop content weekly. Whether it's boxing, MMA, or wrestling that gets you fired up, you'll get all you need right here at the Haymakers and Submissions podcast.